of the Africa Union Commission to make this statement.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency Mohammed Ould Sheikh Al Ghazouani, President of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania and Chair of the African Union, Your Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Coordinator of the Committee of African Head of State and Government on Climate Change, Excellencies, Member of CAHOSC, Excellencies, Ministers, Commissioner Sako Josepha, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by appreciating Your Excellencies for honoring the invitation to participate in this meeting of the highest organ of our Union on climate change. This is a clear testament of the high importance you attach to climate change issues on the continent. Excellencies, Africa has been warming faster than the global average due to the greenhouse emissions emanating from other continents. This year, once again, Africa has experienced devastating floods in Central, East, North and West Africa, while Southern Africa has been hit by severe drought. This cycle of natural disasters will more likely increase. What is clear is that climate change has sucked the momentum out of economic growth for the affected member states. In fact, studies indicate that many African nations are losing up to 5% of GDP due to climate change impacts. The harm is growing deep and huge. Excellencies, from Cairo to Cape Town, from Dakar to Dar es Salaam, year on year, we continue to record increasing climate-induced disasters. Some of our member states have declared a state of emergency on either drought, flood, or famine. Yet, the pledge of $792 million to the Loss and Damage Fund at the 28th Conference of the Parties in Dubai are like a drop in the ocean compared to the magnitude of the resources required to address loss and damage annually in Africa alone. Coupled with this alarming situation, Africa's debt burden continues to climb as most of the resources that would have been used for other developmental projects are diverted to address the ever-increasing impacts of climate change. The rules for climate financing are unfair. They are wrong. They must change as they must consider Africa's unique circumstances, as it is morally unacceptable that African countries are finding themselves on climate overseas development assistance, loan debt despite not carrying any historical responsibility for the climate crisis. Excellencies, to contribute towards the solutions to climate change and related potential innovative financing mechanisms, the African Union Commission convened the first Africa Carbon Markets Conference in July 2024 at the AU headquarters in Addis Ababa. This conference served as a crucial platform for the African continent to deliberate on carbon markets, their approaches and opportunities, the inherent challenges, threats, and potential options for the continent to explore considering its unique circumstances. The African Union Commission also developed a multi-country program which was approved by the Green Climate Fund in February 2024 to finance 15 member states to develop their readiness programs for water resilience to climate change. Furthermore, the African Union Commission continues to strengthen capacity for member states to build resilience toward climate change through development of policies for disaster risk reduction, implementation of the Urban Resilience Program and the Green Recovery Action Plan. Much has been done but much more work remains ahead of us. Excellencies, as we approach the COP29 in Baku, Azerbaijan, a key objective is to finalize negotiations on the new collective quantified goal for climate finance. Building upon the previously pledge of 100 billion, it is imperative that African leaders present a united front at COP29 to advocate for a more ambitious climate finance commitment for developing countries. Any failure in speaking by one voice in this forum will deprive Africa from gaining significant results. The duty of the African leadership is to make sure that this failure is avoided. This is crucial to restoring trust in the international climate finance architecture and ensuring that Africa receives the necessary resources to address the devastating impacts of climate change. Another crucial expected outcome of COP29 is the finalization of Article 6 of the Paris Agreement, which will establish clear rules for international carbon markets. Speaking with one voice and strong as Africa will be crucial in this rule-making global forum. Excellencies, as I conclude, I would like to assure you that the African Union Commission remains committed to support our member states to deliver on their ambitious plans to build resilience for our people to climate change. The new leadership, which will be elected during our summit in next February 2025, will find a very well-paved way to deliver and perform in this challenging space. I wish you fruitful deliberation. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen,